Okay, now that we've taken a look at the basic functionality, let's take a look at the map functionality. That's the next piece we're going to look at. All right, so we've been dispatched to the same call, Bellevue Way, or Bellevue City Hall. You see at the bottom we have AVL functionality. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use one of these buttons at the top. Okay, notice there's Map It and Directions. The Map It button will take you to the call address, so 450 110th Avenue Northeast. If you click Map It, it's going to generate a map, and the map is going to be centered on the call location. See the little green flag there? It's going to put you at the zoom level that you were at the last time you logged in. So at this point, it's county level. So as we click zoom in, you'll notice that we get closer and closer. As we get closer, we'll start to see street address or street names turn on. Then we'll start to see the hydrant layer. And as we get closer still, we'll see the building address points. So here's 450 110th Avenue Northeast. And as we zoom in even farther, we'll see the building footprint. All right, that's the Map It button. Now, the Directions button is actually going to go find our current location. It's going to find the location of the call, which is Bellevue City Hall, and it's going to zoom out and do a little map, a little blue diagram that shows us where we're going to. So you notice here, obviously, this is being faked out, believing it's where it's at. Moving, there's Bellevue City Hall. Here's a little blue thing, and it's currently in what we call call zoom, or not call zoom, map zoom, unit zoom, auto zoom. Thank you. You would figure it out. Auto zoom changes the zoom level based on where you're located and where the call is located, so that you can see both. Now you notice that this unit's going off into outer space here somewhere. It's because it's being told that it's driving when it actually isn't. Normally you'd be following this nice blue track. You get to the location, and when you got there, it zoom in and you see all the information you need to see. It's not going to do that here, so this is a demo. That is the Map It or the Directions button. Let's go back to the call again. Like I said, once you click Directions, it's going to recalculate your route. It's going to take you to the place you're going to go. A few things to know. One of them is on the left-hand side here. It says start going west on Southeast 7th Place. That's a direction, your actual turn-by-turn directions. You can see all your turn-by-turn directions by clicking the Expand button. It's right here. Gives you all of your specific directions to the site. You can also clear the route, which turns off the blue routing, or you can recalculate from your current location to the location you're going. Okay, so start going west on Southeast 7th Place. You're going to start zooming in toward till you get to the actual scene of the call. Now you notice that all of a sudden we've changed because now the route has started itself, and the route starts from Mercer Island and goes up to the call. So now I've recalculated the route to show where we're going again. Right? So that's the Map It button and the Direction button. The last one is Call Zoom. Now Call Zoom is a special button that's used for calls where more than one unit is responding. What will happen is that Call Zoom will show all the units that are responding to the scene, with the farthest out unit being the one that determines the zoom level. Now, something to know is that has a 5-mile range. So if your unit is outside of 5 miles, what it's going to do is zoom to 5 miles, and you're not going to see your unit till you get within that 5-mile radius. That's another auto zoom that'll move in as you get closer, but it's based on the farthest out unit. So let's put ourselves in route here so that it'll stop flashing me on the dispatch side. Let's go back to the map. Now you also have this Map button. This Map button basically takes you to the last map page you're looking at. So in this case, it's got the auto zoom turned on. It's got all that stuff going on. You'll notice here that the zoom in, zoom out button center are no longer enabled. They're grayed out. And that's because in this map tracking button, we have it set to auto zoom. Okay. Let's talk about this first. Okay. So we have some other options we can do. We can do heading, which means that the map will rotate based on the heading that the truck is taking. It's kind of like your Garmin. So as you start to drive, the map's going to rotate so that your vehicle is always pointing north. You can see this, and now it's rotating. Okay, the second map tracking button is vehicle. So it's going to track your vehicle, but it's going to make it so that north is always pointing north. Going back to the heading one, you notice that it shows which direction north is. North is currently pointing this way. It's your preference. Any of these three will work. Auto zoom is the one that we normally will use because as you go closer to the call, it's going to zoom in automatically. Okay, you can also put it back to normal mode. Normal mode is what happens if you're not assigned to a call and not auto zooming. In that mode, you'll notice that the zoom in and zoom out button and also the center button work. Okay, center button is the way that you would scroll the map. So if I wanted to go and put this as the center of my map, I click there and it puts that as center of my map. So if I want to move around on the map, I would hit the center button and I would go to where I want it to be. Once the center is, then at that point you can zoom in on the center of the map and it shows you what's going on at that point. So if I center the map there and I zoom in, now we're centering on the map there. If I center on the map here, now we're zooming in on the center of that. All right, same thing works with zoom out. Okay, we also have this cool little button called info. Info is great because if you have it, see the little icon that has eye on top of it, if you click on something, so in this case the call, it's going to show you the information about the call. Its incident number, the time of the call, what the problem nature is, and the address, and what units are assigned. You can also show some detail, and the detail basically takes you back to the call. Makes sense? All right, so those are those four buttons. Let's look at, we've already looked at map tracking. The next one we're going to look at is view. View allows you to do a few things. One of them is allows you to turn off this little overview map on the left hand side here. You can toggle that on or off. The overview map is handy if you got the center button on because you can then zoom a very large way. Instead of zooming a small amount, you could actually zoom a very large section of map at the same time. Okay. Now, also in this view button, you have the ability to go back to the county level, which is the whole map. You can do, at that point, then you can do 10-mile radius, so within 10 miles. You can do 1 mile. You can do three times bigger or 3 times closer. Now, let's turn map tracking back on auto zoom for a second. That puts us located back where we're at. Now, if we do views of 1/3 in, now you can see that we've zoomed in 3 times, we'll zoom in 3 more times, zoom in 3 more times, and now we're really close. See everything showing up here. Okay, last piece we're going to talk about is the layers button. The layers automatically turn on, and you'll see all the layers are available. There's building footprints, there's parks, railroads, driveways, all of those things. They're always normally defaulted to on, and they turn on or off based on what layer we're looking at or how far in we're zoomed. So if I turn a layer off, so it's like building footprints off, so now you notice that it's no longer lit up, and I zoom in, now when I get closer, those building footprints aren't going to show up because I've literally turned that layer off. If I turn it back on, now you'll see they reappear. 99% of the time, we're going to tell our guys, leave the layers on. If you turn them off, you're going to have problems because they automatically turn on and off based on elevation. If they turn something off and they say, hey, listen, building footprints have gone away or something's gone away, then the first thing to look at would be the layers command. All right, that is it for maps. We've looked at the map it button, we've looked at the directions button, we've looked at call zoom, we've looked at the map button up here, and we looked at all these buttons. If you have any other questions, look for the next videos or contact somebody from Norcom. They'll be able to help you.